Welcome in. Great to have you in our podcast studio. I want to start with what's on the front page of your campaign website. You call Steve Butz, a lifelong Democrat, a MAGA politician. Do you actually believe that, or does that just poll well in a Democratic primary?
Well, I think that giving a campaign donation to the well-known Ed Martin definitely doesn't mean lifelong Democrat. So I do think that that's a reasonable stance to take, and he votes with Republicans a lot of the time.
Is there a single vote that you think more than anything else makes him earns him that moniker?
I couldn't really. I mean, I think it's the overall character of his voting record and his donation history.
All right, let's talk about then what Democrats should look for and want in the state Senate. The abortion rights group and some progressive groups, some union groups want you in that Senate seat. The business lobby and law enforcement want him. Say he's cozier with some of these moderate to right-leaning groups. He has those relationships. How do you persuade a voter that you'd be more effective navigating a red state legislature?
Well, I think we look at the specific groups. For instance, Steve Butz has been endorsed by the Chamber of Commerce, the very people that brought us right to work and did away with the overwhelmingly voter-approved in Senate 4 earned sick leave. So again, if the voters want someone that's cozying up or in bed with the Chamber of Commerce who doesn't respect those values, nothing I can do about that.
So persuade a voter, though, that you'd get more done for the district. Not that you'd fight harder, but that you'd deliver more.
Well, I think it's Harry Truman that said you can get a lot done if you don't take the credit for it. And I think that my entire 8-year record in the House would speak to that. I served in Democratic leadership for 5 of my 8 years. And you have to be effective and trustworthy in order for a Republican Speaker of the House to appoint you to be the Democratic member of a committee that's investigating a governor for the first time in our state's history.
Then there's the state takeover of the local police department. You don't live in the city, but why does this matter to you?
Well, first of all, I think the city and the county are very much tied together, and where the city goes, the county follows to a large degree. And I do think we're kind of picked on by the folks in Jefferson City. So starting with that, but
we being
the city and the county, the St. Louis, the non-St. Charles St. Louis area, but the state police department bill was a half-baked bill, so I would never have voted in favor of that. But more importantly is the fact that voting in favor of a hostile takeover by a Republican administration in Jefferson City is not something that I agree with. The timing of that bill was such that it was pretty clear that there was going to be a new mayor. Mayor Spencer should have had at least an opportunity to try and work with them. So those are all the reasons why I don't agree with it. And this is, again, against the backdrop of Steve Butz taking campaign contributions from the president of the Board of Police Commissioners, which I think is a conflict, as well as being largely funded by the police.
Mm-hmm. You or voters may want to punish Steve Butz at the ballot box for that state takeover vote, but the state controls the department now.
Yes, it does.
Punishing him doesn't reverse it, doesn't make a single street safer, doesn't make that department any more accountable to local voters. So going forward, should you arrive in the state Senate, with the law as it is, what do you actually do?
Well, again, you do whatever you can to try and reinstitute local control. I don't know that happens quickly at all.
Ballot initiative?
Sure, why not? If the folks of the city of St. Louis want to do that, I would be completely supportive of it. I mean, the fact is that when a local government and the local voters, the local taxpayers have zero control over what their police department is doing, I think that is a big problem.
On amendments 4 and 5, you vote how?
No on both.
There you have it. Care to clarify or elaborate?
No, I mean, again, Amendment 4 is basically saying that the Republicans in Jefferson City should be able to have a quicker path to amending our Constitution than the actual voters in the state. I got a problem with that. And on Amendment 5, that is just, it's a fool's errand, and it's backed by Rex Sinquefield, who is also a major donor to Steve Butz's campaign. So the idea that we would do away with the income tax, remove all constitutional guardrails to protect taxpayers, and say, let the Republicans in Jefferson City decide what gets taxed and how much, that's ridiculous to me.
Some regular voters with long memories may be more familiar with you than newcomers, first-timers. So for any voters who may not be as familiar with your record in Jefferson City, what kind of a Democrat are you?
I'm a Democrat. Steve Butz calls himself an independent. I'm a Democrat, and I always have been. So I don't know what kind of a Democrat means. I know that I'm a Democrat that represented both the city and the county for 8 years, and I think my voting record speaks to how much I care about both of those areas. The constituencies are have more in common than they don't.
Well, maybe this follow-up question will put it into clearer lanes for you, because primary voters are looking all the way up and down their ballot.
Mm-hmm.
Who would represent us better in Congress, Cori Bush or Wesley Bell?
I'm not going to weigh in on that. And I was redistricted in a congressional too, and I have a feeling that after this primary, I'm going to be redistricted back into congressional too.
Then maybe I should have asked Fred Wellman, Joan Von Dross.
I think that both of them have good qualities. I think we'll just see what the voters decide.
It's primary season. I'm not asking you to pick fights where and make enemies where you don't need them right now. Gina Mitten, thank you for your time.
Well, thank you so much.